What's good, everybody? It's me, Tim Keys, and I'm back to talk about Nexus 4. I've shot this video probably 7 times at this point, and I figured, what, the 10th time is a charm. I want to make this as comprehensive and yet as quick as possible. So, Nexus 4 came out about a week or so ago over the holiday season, and for those of you who don't know anything about Nexus, Nexus has been considered an industry standard among the Rompler VSTs for quite some time, especially with the coming of Nexus 2. It was great, had a great selection of sounds, very, for what it could do, it was flexible. You didn't have to go too deep. One good thing about a Rompler in general is the fact that if you just want good bread and butter sounds, easy go-to sounds, a good rompler will get that for you. And so, you don't have to do a lot of legwork to get your sounds. You just pick your presets and go. They're hugely polished for you and ready to go. Nexus 4 offers a couple of different additional features, such as an updated arpeggiator with almost like a piano roll-esque type sequencer, an updated effects module. You can layer sounds in different ways. You can always expand your sounds by buying additional plugins. Unfortunately, you can only buy your expansions through Nexus. They have not opened that up to third-party developers, which is kind of a bummer, but I understand the move. One thing I don't like, and I'm just going to get right to the point, one thing I don't like about Nexus, and one of the things that has always kind of turned me off from buying Nexus, is the fact that it's a little pricey to me, for what it is, which is essentially it's a Rompler. It's a good playback device. Starting price $249, mid-range 400, get the everything bundle 2200. Now, if you've already bought Nexus, then I think the upgrade price starts at like $100 to go from Nexus 3 to Nexus 4 and so forth. I think this is reduced to like 300. The complete version is still 2200. 2200, the complete version for 150 gigs worth of samples, in my opinion, for a Rompler is too much money. I mean, I'll even keep it a buck. 300 to $400 for a Rompler with 25 gigabytes of sounds and 4,000 presets, in my opinion, is not worth the money. Not saying this isn't a good sounding product. I've listened to quite a few demos. Sounds great. Seen people use it. Sounds great. Even thought about buying it a couple times and not really. And I'm going to show you why. Here's a couple of alternatives because, again, money doesn't grow on trees. And yeah, there are alternatives, especially in 2021. So I'm going to show you a couple of those and we'll get started. First one is expand. Let's load it up. I'm running in Reason. My stuff is still running slow. One day I'll put my new hard drives into my computer and run everything the way I'm supposed to. I've been lazy, so I apologize. So bear with me. Here's Expand 2. Great sounding pad. You got 4 different slots that you can utilize. I'm only utilizing one. You got an arpeggiator, different modes that you can select. You can change the rates. You have your modulation aspects where you can do anything from the filter to the pitch, the volume, to the pan, depth, rate, so forth. You could do fine tuning on the sounds. You have your effects section here. Everything is pretty much straightforward, but you can, if you want to get in depth, you can do that. again, because you can load the sounds. Each slot allows you to go into various aspects of the sound. They don't allow you to go too deep, but again, because you can layer up to 4 parts, that's a plus. By the way, this product has been as cheap as $1 and currently is about 20 bucks. So there's that. We're going to do that again today. We are not. We're going to solve that problem. So yeah. And one thing about air plugins in general, if you know anything about romplers and the history of romplers, Hypersonic was kind of the go-to plugin for your romplers. And then after Hypersonic kind of went out of business, or kind of went under, because they didn't go out of business, Nexus became the new deal. But the company that made Hypersonic was comprised of Air One as well as Steinberg. So yeah, Air One makes some good stuff. If you want to go a little bit more in depth, here's Structure. Same idea. You can pick your sounds, you can pick your patches. Structure does allow you to play other libraries. I think it allows you to play some older Contact libraries and so forth. But unlike Expand, Structure is a full-fledged sampler. Now you can't sample directly into the device, but you can bring your own samples on board to make your own patches. Oh no. Oh, sheesh, I forgot to put my hard drive in. So, yep, oops. I'm not going to show off any sounds today. But there's a lot in this program that you can do. You have some built-in effects. And you got some filters. The difference overall between any sampler, gosh, we're doing it again. We're doing it again. We're not doing that again. The difference between a sampler and a rompler is the amount of control you get. Usually a good sampler will have a good, starting point of sounds that you can work with, but then you are able to expand those sounds, if you will, by, uploading additional sample libraries into your product to make stuff go. And yeah, Structure I've seen on sale for as low as 30 bucks. I would poke around. You can also get it as part of Air One plugins package. I've seen that as low as 75. It may be about 125. Even if that's the case, if you were to buy Air plugins for 150 bucks, that's still cheaper than 200, and you would get a lot more stuff at your disposal. Next on the list is Mpc Software. Mpc Software has what they call Hype Synth. And this was added with the second to last update. And it is a rompler. Boatloads of sounds that you can pick, that you can use. And you can also go into the architecture a little bit and modify these sounds a little bit more in depth than you would on even something compared to the Sheesh Expand. Come stock in Npc Software. I've seen Npc software. I think it normally goes for $200. So if you're gonna dump out $200 for a Rompler, you could dump out $200 and get the hype synth and a bunch of other synths and have a semi-functional, you know, DAW, because Npc software is the same software that comes in the hardware units. And some would argue that the time stretch algorithm is better on the software than on the hardware because you're using your computer. I've also seen this as low as $50 and on average about 100. So there's that. Another Rumpler. I'm just gonna keep going through. I don't know if I'll be able to leave links in the description because it's a lot here, but Applied Acoustic Systems Player. This one I've seen in some cases, like you buy a product on Plugin Boutique, and you'll get this free, and you'll be able to get like a sound pack. I think you can get this on the website for free, and it has like so many sounds, like maybe 500 to start. And so, this is all of the stuff, not all the stuff. This is some of the presets from some of the synthesizers that you would get if you bought like their flagship products. So everything is limited in the sense that you can't go under the hood. So there's that. But oh, sheesh, don't do that. Don't be trying to steal my cereal bowl. Anyhow, the thing with something like this is if you wanted to polish the sounds, because everything is pretty much dry in terms of signal, you would have to add in your own effects, which is cool because it'll encourage you to, dig in a little bit deeper. If you want to keep it simple, you just throw in a little reverb on there and call it good. Analog Lab is another one. Analog Lab, they're on version 5 right now. You can get it for it might be on sale for $100. It might be a little bit cheaper. I'm not sure. I'll try to put the link in the description. Analog Lab is nice because you get a boatload of all the classic hardware sounds, your E-pianos, your organs, your Moogs, your Oberheims, your Matrixes, your Synclaviers, all that good jazz. And if you don't necessarily want to tweak all the sounds to the full-fledged, extent, because sound design can be overwhelming, Analog Lab is a nice middle-of-the-road process, middle-of-the-road plugin that will allow you to get a lot of those nice sounds and even bread and butter sounds, and you're able to modify aspects of the sound without going too deep and feeling overwhelmed. And it's got over somewhere between 5,000 to 6,000 patches at this point, so I would definitely check it out. Let's keep going. I'm scrolling down. I'm not going to cover everything. If you're in Reason, I would check out the Aqueous, DNA Labs. DNA Labs got some good stuff. Hydro Nexus is like $15 on sale right now, unless they took it off. If they did, don't chop off my head. I apologize. But I've seen it as low as $15. And again, for a Rompler, great sounds, lower price point. Matter of fact, you can get a few of his plugins, including this one, the Hydro Nexus, and I think it's Glacius, which sounds great. Glacius will even allow you to, throw in your own samples. And it might still be on sale. It was like $35 at one point. Again, check it out. Another one is Sample Tank. I'm not going to go too in depth into that because I don't have I have my hard drive plugged in, which has all my additional samples and sounds from these products. But Sample Tank is free. You can download the free version and it'll give you like a starter, base point of sounds, and you can add to it. The only caveat to Sample Tank is the fact that you want to make sure you know where you keep all of your stuff, download everything, and have your backups, because if you don't, If you lose any of your stuff, it costs like $10 to like buy the additional. If you lose your sounds, you can't retrieve it. You have to go on their website, pay $10 to retrieve those sounds, and then re-download them into a hard drive, which is a pain in the butt. But everything in Sample Tank is ran through, basically samples. Has a very good sampler, in my opinion. Has some nice filters, and again, gives you good options for shaping your sounds, and you can expand those libraries. Syntronic is part of Sample Tank. Some good stuff there. Let's see. There's Initial Audio. I think they're on version 3 with Heat Up. It might be on sale for $100. It's usually $150. And again, that's cheaper than Nexus. Haven't played with Initial Audio's Heat Up, but if you're just looking for a good rompler, especially if you're looking for a rompler that'll have you geared towards like your more urban music, I would lean towards that direction. Let's see. Let's see if my FL Studio opens up in here. It does. Thank you. If you have, oh no, see, it couldn't be linked. All right, it's not already running. Haven't installed the update properly. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you got FL Studio, you have Flex. Flex is another plugin that now comes native to FL Studio, and the Flex sounds great. I've played with it on a demo. Sounds amazing. The sheer fact that they have a good go-to rompler with quite a lot going on under the hood, from subtractive to additive and FM, not additive, wavetable, pardon me, and FM synthesis going on under the hood. You can get some good sounds out of Flex, and they have a nice filter section too. And you can expand to third-party libraries. You can get Flex with FL Studio for $100. $100 gets you the fruity edition of FL Studio, so you have the ability to sequence beats and have a decent rompler right on deck. So what can $100 get you? A lot if you know where to shop. Moving on, I'm not going to do the Triton and the Triton Extreme series and all that, but I did that in the other video I had showcasing chord plugins. Both of these will get you, actually all three of these, the Triton, Triton Extreme, and the M1 are all great romplers, and they will offer you more flexibility than the Nexus plugin at a cheaper price point. I think you can get M1 for $50 by itself if you just wanted to get it. And there's a lot of stuff here. That. Now this is, by this being older, you're gonna have a older sound set. I don't think that's bad, but it will be a little bit older. You can always go in under the hood and modify your sounds, because you get up to 8 different oscillators on combi mode. Program mode, you get 2 oscillators each. And again, you can adjust all of those sounds, or you can adjust the parameters, pick your waveforms, and go to town. It's PCM based as opposed to like analog modeling, but for heaven's sakes, it's all digital anyway. So there's that. Keep rolling through. Let's see. Contact is a big one. I don't know if it's still on sale. When I shot this video the last time I recorded it, trying to get my time right, you can still get Contact. I think it was like $200. And if you get Contact, in my opinion, quite frankly, you pretty much have everything that you need when it comes to having a good sampler and a rompler at your disposal, because it can get the job done. You can do pretty much whatever you want to. If you don't have the ends for Contact, you can get Contact Player. And a lot of the third-party libraries in Contact Player, you can still purchase. And that's a good thing. So if you just want a good rompler, get Contact Player. Find you your third-party libraries and buy those, and Contact Player is free. You just don't have the ability to go under the hood to modify and work your sounds. Hopefully, this won't take too long, because I do want to give some examples. If not, I am just going to talk my way through this video. Yeah. So yeah, Contact will allow you the ability to, have access to good sounds. You'll get all your bread and butter sounds, because even in the factory library, you have all sorts of good stuff like your basic pianos, EPs, your pads, different synths that have been sampled and put in. But then you can go under the hood and, adjust those sounds through the filters and the effects. And if you get Contact, if you get Contact the full version, there's definitely a lot there. You can also, at this point you have wavetable synthesis and granular synthesis. So if you really want to get busy, thank you, Contact, and go under the hood, you totally can. And if you wanted to go further and develop your own stuff, please don't die on me. You can do that, and it's not a big issue. So no. So these are all third party. Trying to go with what's in here. Instruments. So we'll do a pad. Basement sprites. Take it to basic interface. Not saving. Let's do drifting apart. So yeah, that's just out of the gate. So if you just bought Contact by itself, yeah, you got some good sounds. And I think you can get the stripped down version of Analog Dreams, Ethereal Earth, and Hybrid Keys. Those, in my opinion, are really good, especially considering now they give you the ability to go under the hood and get a little bit more. Contact Play 25 series, I did a video on that. There's some good stuff in here, and this won't be free for too long. I think the freeness of Play Series 25 will end at some point, probably today if it hasn't ended already. You have to check the website. So I would encourage you to take a look at that. Yeah, if you get Contact, you get a powerhouse, and you get to do a lot. In terms of overall ability, in my opinion, you get far more value than Nexus. And if for some strange reason you want to just drop $2,500 on anything at that point, just go buy the complete update, the complete software bundle. You'll get everything you need. Matter of fact, at $2,500, sheesh, just buy the complete bundle and Arturia together. You'll have more stuff than you would know what to do with. Let's see. Last but not least, will it do it for me? Let's talk about Halion Sonic. I've done a video on Halion I don't think people paid attention to that video. It's okay. I'll sound the alarm off and talk about it again. Halion Sonic and Halion 6. Again, this might take some time to load up, so I'll ramble. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna try cancel because we always have to do this. All right, go back and do it again. The bummer with Halion, I will say, is a caveat. The E licenser is a but. Like, you have to make sure you have the E licenser. I know they said they were taking care of that issue, and I think in a lot of ways they have, because now all I have to do is what I just did. But it used to be you had to buy Steinberg's products and get an additional like thumb drive, the E licenser specifically. Make sure you had everything lined up and communicated with each other so you can do what you needed to do. You don't have to do that anymore now. And let's see what we got. We'll just, gosh. So if you get Halion Sonic, there's a lot there. And again, Halion is the other half of the successor to Hypersonic. So if you're a fan of Hypersonic, Halion Sonic. Again, there's 3 different versions of Halion Sonic. Halion SC, which is free, by the way, and you can expand that. So if you just want a straight rompler for free, get Halion Sonic SC, the free version, and then go hunt down some free Halion libraries. Or if you want to go a step further, you could just get the free version of Halion Sonic and then buy the third-party libraries of Halion and expand your sound palette that way. And again, that's a little bit more inexpensive. If you want to go a little bit more in depth, you get Halion Sonic 3, and there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of stuff here, and Halion Sonic will allow you the ability to modify your plugins. You can go in and, adjust your filters and all that. Where Halion Sonic, Halion Sonic SC doesn't give you that ability. It's a straight rompler and usually more of a playback device. Halion Sonic will give you the ability to go a little bit more deeper, stack stuff, make your adjustments on the fly. And of course, Halion, the big one, will allow you to do everything, including, again, you can make third-party libraries, and you have multi synth engines under the hood, from your analog modeling to sample base to organ modeling to granular synthesis to wavetable synthesis. And you can also sample directly into Halion version 6, something that you can't do with a lot of samplers. So you get a lot there. You get good sounding products and all that stuff. Good sounding plugins. And if you have something like Contact or Omnisphere, you can cross grade. Again, those are cheaper alternatives to Sheesh, Nexus 4. Not crapping on Nexus, I think it's great. But, again, in 2021, there's so much out here for competition that you can get. There, even stuff like trophies, which I don't know if they sell trophies as a single product anymore, or if you have to buy the subscription. But, those are good because these are geared towards a specific sound. Trophies from Studio Linked, I would definitely check that out. You get 4 different slots to choose from, 4 different, ways you can load up your sound. Good arpeggiation, has some MIDI and some features from, real songs that have been produced. It's definitely one to check out. And jeez, I can't think of the last one. What I have. Yeah, there was one that came out. I think it was Sign or something. I can't think of the name. Once I remember it, I'll do a video on it. Um, I cannot think of the other one, and my brain is starting to fade. But I would just say this: there are plenty of options available. Oh yeah, Track Guide, Track Guide VST. I've used a demo on that one. Sounds great. Again, it's another plugin that's geared towards trap sounds, but it's a rompler. So, and I think you can get it for $60 right now. It may go back up, but it's not a bad price. You know, if you're going in the direction of a rompler, that I would probably lean more towards those, just because they're gonna give you more options. Even if you don't like, doing sound design, you're going to get more options. Plus, when you get bored of your sounds, because that's the other thing, just like back in the day, we used to buy hardware and certain keyboards, you had it, and then you had your go-to sounds, and you had your sounds that weren't your favorites or you didn't like. But for some of your keyboards that were more or less a closed box, they once you got used to it and you got the sounds that you had, that was it. Once you got bored, you either had to, you know, it wasn't a you had to go buy something else. So, it's the same thing with a rompler. If you go that direction, you got to buy something else once you get bored with those sounds or when those sounds become dated. So, choose your stuff wisely because, money don't grow on trees. And in my opinion, if it doesn't offer you flexibility and it's not something that you can grow with, then I would, put my funds in other directions, especially now, because, well, now I'll save that for another video. I'll do a part two. But yep, that's it for today. That's my thoughts on Nexus. If you got it, let me know your thoughts. Not crapping on Nexus. Again, I've seen videos, sounds great, and it's been times that I've wanted to reach for it, but then these are the plugins that keep me from reaching for it in the first place. So yeah, I'm Tim Keys. I'm out. Have a good one. Thank you for watching. Thank you to the new subscribers. Peace.